Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I appreciate the conversation this morning. I'll speak first to a comment I heard from one of my colleagues about, the Canadian soldiers and the blood and sacrifice and treasure that's gone across this world to try and improve democracy. And without a doubt, that is one of the things that I'm most proud about, our Canadian forces and how they do exactly those things in order to help build up fledgling democracies. And a key component of that is to improve freedoms. Freedoms of things like speech, freedoms of assembly, religion, opinion, the opportunity to gather and have debate, which is what makes Canada, our province in Ottawa, so great. But I'm not going to focus on freedoms in this conversation because I think that's been talked about a lot. Without a doubt, nothing that we do can compromise those freedoms. Point for now. And I'm more than confident that our staff are going to be able to look at this and do that analysis. But what I really want to talk about is our duty of care. So we're essentially the board of governors for this corporation, and we do have a duty of care to our residents. And I would ask all of us to take a look at the trends over the last 5, even 10 years, and to ask if we, as a corporation, are fulfilling our duty of care to our residents. We have a responsibility for public health. We have a responsibility for public safety, for security. There are numerous examples from across the political ideological spectrum of places where there have been breaches to our duty of care. People have been made unsafe. Elderly, young, teachers, full spectrum. This is not a political discussion about content. The debate issue is secondary. This is about our fiduciary duty of care to the residents of Ottawa. We have a responsibility to them to put in place the systems that will best allow for all the charter freedoms to be protected and to be endorsed and to be implemented. But we can't overlook the fact that we don't want people to feel intimidated or to feel hate or to be violated, to be hurt. And we can't let us get into that space. I would suggest that enabling a motion that will further that conversation is nothing but positive. Because we do have, as the governors of this corporation, a duty of care to do the best we can. Right now, I don't think we're doing the best we can. There's been a lot of good discussion about enforcement. There is absolutely an enforcement issue here. But that's not something we can physically put our thumb into, nor should we. All we can do is set the conditions so that our police, our bylaw, have the tools in order to make the best judgments on the ground based on the tactical situation, based on the threats, based on the concerns that they have about bystanders and such. At present, do they have enough laws to allow that? Some people have made that argument. Some people will continue to make that argument. They probably do. However, this will set a tone at the top of supporting our bylaw, of supporting our police, and of enabling them with tools where otherwise they may not have them. I don't dispute the fact that from time to time, there are potentially opportunities for the police to enforce certain things, but they make the discretionary judgments at that time to perhaps not do so. That frustrates some people, but at the end of the day, they are the ones on the ground looking at the problem and saying, if I actually do this enforcement action, this could cause a substantially worse outcome. So by looking at the option of preventing that situation from happening at the beginning, before it even takes place, I think is a viable conversation for staff to have and to then brief us on. So, Mr. Mayor, it has been my pleasure to work with Councillor Hubley on this and yourself. I do strongly support that we allow staff to go back to take a look at this to see what options are available, and then we have a further debate at that time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councillor Hill, and I want to thank all of my council colleagues for your thoughtful comments on this and for sharing your concerns and the conflicted feelings you have in some cases about this. I think this has been a healthy discussion, and this is what our residents expect of us when we're dealing with an issue of this nature. So thank you all for your thoughts.